God's word of revelation was written in the Old Testament in Hebrew. In the New Testament, God chose the language of Koine Greek. Now, Koine is actually a Greek word. It means common, and that describes what the language was at the time. It was a common language. Much of the world had been conquered by the Romans, of course, but before the Romans, it had been conquered by the Greeks. And the Greeks had spread their language throughout the Mediterranean area. And so even though Latin was the official language of the Roman Empire, much of the business, commerce, everyday life in the empire was still conducted in Koine Greek. So when God revealed the New Testament, the New Covenant, that was no longer for a specific people, the Jews, but was for all people, Jews and Gentiles, he used the common language of the day. Now, if God were to write a Bible today, chances are he would use English, since English is that common, almost universal language in our world. And that's how we should think of Koine Greek. It was the English of its day. Now, Koine Greek makes up the New Testament pretty much in its entirety. There are some quotes in Hebrew. There are a few Aramaic words, but it's Koine Greek through all 27 books of the New Testament. And you see that the letters are similar to our English letters. The flow of the language is similar. And you see in your graphic on your screen right now the Lord's Prayer in Koine Greek. And that first word is pater, Father. You know, even some of the words are carried over into English. And so it's a bit more familiar to us, and yet still remarkably strange. But it's a rich language, but a language that has to be translated into English for us to make use of it. So our English translations today do make use of both this Koine Greek from the New Testament and the Hebrew from the Old Testament to put in a language that we can use. But this was the language of the common person in Jesus' time, language that he spoke, a language that God chose to use to record his word, so more and more people